Okay, I know I've said this multiple times before, but I have not really liked any of the Jurassic Park sequels. I love the first one. I saw that like 5 or 6 times in the theater. I remember eagerly waiting for the VHS to come out, which I don't think it came out until like I want to say 94, 95. It was a long time because it was one of those rare times where it would come out in both the video store and the rental store at the same time. And my father actually purchased a widescreen VHS of the first Jurassic Park. And again, like I saw again, that's a major part of my life. And I remember being excited for the Lost World, and then seeing it and being sorely disappointed. And then Jurassic Park 3 came out, and it's like I really didn't like the second one, so I watched it eventually, and yeah, it was not very good. I will say that Jurassic World was probably the best of the sequels, but it still didn't quite follow through on everything. And I always wondered, like, why is it these things keep disappointing me? And it's then that I finally realized it's because no one ever learns a damn thing. The message of the first one is we shouldn't have short-circuited Mother Nature and brought back dinosaurs. And that's the message that keeps carrying on through this. Like, some idiot keeps doing this over and over and over again on grander and grander scales, and no one learns a blasted thing. And unfortunately for Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom, that stays true. So basically, the island Isla Nublar, there's a volcano. If you see the trailers, you know what's happening. There's a volcano on it. It's going to erupt, and it's basically going to kill the dinosaurs that were left behind when Jurassic World closed. And they're, like I said, they're all going to die. And there's kind of two groups. There's a group that says we need to help them. We can't let them go extinct again. But there's another group. It's basically Malcolm, Dr. Ian Malcolm, and he's only in like a little bit of the film. He's marketed as being a major part than he is, but yeah, he's only in a bit at the beginning and a bit at the end. And he's basically saying, no, we shouldn't have done this. We need to kind of let them die. And I know that's, but again, Claire, is it Denning? Bryce Dallas Howard's character of Claire is working with an activist group that wants to save the dinosaurs. But Malcolm eventually kind of manages to successfully lobby Congress to get them to deny any funding to fund a rescue operation. So they have to turn to the private sector, and in this case, it's Ben Lockwood, who it turns out worked with John Hammond in the early stages of developing the genetic cloning techniques for Jurassic Park. They actually both discovered the mosquitoes in the amber, and like I said, they worked together. Ben Lockwood, by the way, is played by James Cromwell, which is kind of funny because Bryce Dallas Howard played Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3, and Captain Stacy was played by James Cromwell. So yeah, we had a weird Spider-Man 3 reunion. Anyway, he also has an assistant named Eli, who's sort of have a bit of a past with Claire. They met at a party, and he's supposed to be kind of the idealist who's founding Mr. Lockwood's charitable ventures. Lockwood also has a granddaughter named Macy, and I'll get to her in just a bit. But they need, basically they found a new island, like we want to transport them to a new sanctuary where they'll be left alone and nothing bad will happen to them. And okay, so as this is happening, basically they realize they want one specific raptor named Blue, who was sort of genetically engineered to be more intelligent than the other raptors, and who Owen, Chris Pratt's character, trained into basically being very loyal. Exactly, managed to build a rapport with, and so Claire has to get Owen because in between the two films, Jurassic World and this one, they broke up because of something with a van. I'm not entirely sure. It was not a very good conversation. But eventually, Owen's reluctant at first, but he eventually gives in and comes along with two other people who really add absolutely nothing. They go to the island where some of the dinosaurs have already been captured by this rescue team, and shock of shock! They start to track down Blue, and it turns out shock of shocks. Yeah, it begins. It's all revealed in the trailer. So, no, this rescue team has actually been trying to do something for their own personal gain because Eli intends to sell most of these dinos on the black market, and yeah, but he specifically wants Blue for another reason, which I'll get to. But yeah, anyway, they turn on Owen. They trank him, and there's a scene where it begins, volcanoes erupting, so there's lava flows all over the island. And there's one point where Chris Pratt is like literally about this close to a lava flow. His face is this close because he's still sedated from the trank, so he's barely trying to move as best he can. It's like, if he were that close to the lava, he'd be dead. I mean, it's not like we just had a volcanic eruption in Hawaii that showed the dangers of lava flowing everywhere. Anyway, back with on the mainland, Eli turns out is, like I said, he's dealing with the black market, but he wants Blue in particular because he also, earlier in the film, they showed a group harvesting the corpse of the Indominus Rex. They take its ribs so they can get some DNA from it, and as this has happened in the gates that were around Jurassic World get left open, so I'm guessing some of the dinosaurs got off anyway. It's never really addressed. But he needs that DNA because he's going to combine part of Blue's DNA with the Indominus Rex DNA to create a creature called the Indoraptor, which will be used as a dinosaur super soldier. Yeah. He's created a prototype, but it doesn't have the raptor. It's got some raptor DNA, but it doesn't have the DNA that allowed Blue to be intelligent and truly listen and work with humans. So, as this is happening, Macy finds out about this. She's kind of eavesdropping in this area where, as she finds out, she tells her grandfather, who confronts Eli, and Eli kills Lockwood. As this is happening, the dinosaurs are being brought in, the people are arriving for the sale, various dinosaurs are being auctioned off to the highest bidder. Claire and Owen are taken captive. They stowed away on the boat, but they were eventually taken captive. As this is happening, Dr. Wu's basically warning them not to put forth the Indoraptor yet because it's not ready. The prototype is not ready. It's too dangerous. Of course, they don't listen, and they wind up selling it. But in the midst of this, Claire and Owen break free thanks to the aid of a pachycephalosaur, who then crashes into the auction. And in the melee, the Indoraptor gets freed, kills a bunch of people. As this is happening, Wu, that's B.D. Wong's character, is trying to escape the lab. He's collecting even more DNA samples. One of the other two who weren't that important manages to take him down briefly, but some people get out with more DNA. As this is happening, though, there's an explosion in the lab as Blue is freed, and poisonous gas starts to spill out. They have to open the ventilation system. But as this is happening, Blue comes along to aid Owen and Claire in taking down the Indominus Rex. The Indominus Rex eventually chases everyone up onto a skylight, and it crashes through the sky. Blue basically drives it through the skylight, and it crashes onto the horns of a Triceratops skull. And then Claire is kind of left with this dilemma. She wants to she can either free the dinosaurs on the mainland or let them die. And she elects to let them die, but then Maisie elects to free them. There's also one bit about Maisie I forgot to mention. It's revealed that she is not actually Lockwood's granddaughter. She's the clone of his deceased daughter. Why? It serves no point because it means nothing. It adds nothing. It is a nothing plot point that did not need to be in the story. Okay, it's like it's this big shocking revelation, but It's never addressed for the rest of the film, and there's no point. This whole movie is completely pointless. Again, like I said, it's one, the idea of taking them and either selling them on the black market or doing their own purpose, taking dinosaurs off the island. That's from Jurassic. That's from the Lost World. We're doing Jurassic World again because we're genetically creating dinosaurs, a new species of dinosaurs that we shouldn't be, because we didn't learn our lesson from that. Yeah, I didn't like this film. Sorry. Like I said, Maisie eventually frees the dinosaurs, and now they're loose on the mainland. Although I'm guessing, again, some got off the island, and some of the dinosaurs were actually auctioned off and sold, and were being transported, but we don't know what was going to happen to them. So, again, it's like they're sequel baiting again. And then Malcolm comes out and he says, well, again, the cat's out of the bag now. There's nothing we can do. These dinosaurs will probably eventually overwhelm us and kill us because there's we can stop them. And no one ever listens to me. Well, you just listen to me for once, but yeah, and then well, we now live in Jurassic World, and the credits roll. Yeah. Again, sorry. I did not like this film. To be honest, I went in with an open mind. I said, maybe this will be good, although, to be honest, the trailers didn't look that spectacular with it. Admittedly, one of the major problems with the first Jurassic World was the attempt at romantic chemistry between Claire and Owen. There just isn't any. I think they're both talented actors, and I think they could work together well, but the way it was scripted, just, yeah, it didn't work. But, again, I went in with an open mind. I said, maybe this can at least be average. Like I said, Jurassic World was the best of the sequel, so maybe they can add on this somehow. And to be honest, if they had just stuck to the idea of the rescue operation and dinosaurs getting loose on the mainland, and just dropped the whole subplot with the super soldiers and the auction on the black market and the yada yada yada, maybe this would have been passable. But the whole, like I said, everything I talked about there, that whole stupid part with, the genetic engineer, not the auction, I'm sorry. The auction and the super soldiers and the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's so stupid. No one would exactly, we've tried this so many times before. What makes you think this time is going to be any freaking different? So, yeah. This movie's getting an F. I did not like it. The effects, I will say that again, the effects are good. James Cromwell is a passable substitute for the late Richard Attenborough. The villain is forgettable. Again, we got knockoff Pete Postlethwaite's character from the first one, the big game hunter. He's completely boring. The other two, Franklin and Zia, I think were their names. They're not interesting at all. They're just annoying. Yeah, I did not like this film. Sorry.
If you need help, if you have nowhere to turn, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. Spread the word. There's only one A-Team. And they're back.
How do you do it?
George Papard.
I'm the planner.
Dirk Benedict.
We're just here to make a little point.
Dwight Schultz. And Mr. T.
Nice quiet life, huh, Face?
The A-Team.
Weeknights at 7 on TV 39.
Okay, trailer time, and yeah, it's pretty much all repeat trailers here. So the first one was The Darkest Minds, which, yeah, it's the trailer when I see it, it's like, oh yeah, that. What's this called again? This is the X-Men meets the Hunger Games type deal, where children with superpowers are being rounded up and killed, but then one decides to lead a group to fight back. After that, we had Skyscraper again, Ant-Man and the Wasp again, Spy Who Dumped Me again, Mission Impossible Fallout again, and then we had The Meg. I can't remember if I had The Meg before, but obviously it's part of the opening sequence to the show, so obviously I have been familiar with it. The Meg at least looks like cheesy good fun. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, my jury duty got settled out of court, so I didn't have to serve. Anyway, next video up will be the random trade review on Missions of Love Volume 1. I have all the video shot. I have the screen captures for the pictures. I have yet to record some of the audio for it, but I can do that quickly. After that, I'm going to try to do the WWE UK tournament. That might not be up until about Thursday-ish, maybe Wednesday, but probably not until Thursday at the earliest. The next movie is going to be Uncle Drew. See you all next time. Hey guys, is there a movie you want me to tackle? Even if it's some stinker like Baywatch or the Emoji Movie or something else? Check out my Patreon at Sleepy Time for Cat Productions. See how you can make that happen.